Just a quick update of how we're getting on. It's been very slow progress on this side of the car. The paint readings are that low. The top half of the door I've just glanced with a finishing pad just to give it a bit of gloss, because the paint readings are that low and I can already see through the lacquer where it's close to breaking through, so I'm not going to make that worse. The bottom of the door had more paint, as you can imagine, and I've removed quite a lot of scratches out of that, and now this is about what it looked like before I did the door. As you can see, there's a lot of marks, but we've managed to get them out the door, and that was the lowest paint reading panel. There was one around here, a bad scratch. I've managed to get that out, and quite a few across that part of the door. It looks like, you know, it's been washed a bit roughly, and the scratches are everywhere. So gonna crack on and try and get this side finished today. Like I say, it's been slow going, but I've had to really be careful how I work this door. I've been taking paint readings, you know, really every time I've touched the mop on the door I've been reading the paint. So some of it I've not been able to even touch to cut anything out, so, but it still looks a million times better. So anyway, I'm going to crack on and start on the wing now. I shall mask this edge off so that I don't lick any of that door anymore while I'm working on the wing. So once I get this side done, the paint readings are pretty good around the rest of the car, so I can, I can attack it with some vigour and get done a bit quicker. But it's not about the speed, it's just working to get the best finish that I can. Anyway, there you go, and I'll see you on the next update. to get the side of the car, or the driver's side of the car finished. I've just protected the wing that I've just done, and now I'll try and sort some of these bad scratches that are on the bonnet. As you can see, there's one there. Well, there's quite a few, too many to go around them all. It's not really showing very well, but it's a bit lackluster as well, the finish. So let's see from there. There's quite a few of them, so I'm going to crack on now. Like I say, protected the wing, so when I'm leaning over I'm not going to cause any damage to what I've already done. Probably the best way. See, somebody's already polished the car to death, and it's showing as holograms, and they're all the swirls, but there are some deeper scratches I need to get out, so I'm going to crack on and get on with it, see if we can do something with it. There's such a lot of lacquer pop in the panels. You know, the paint readings on here are good. I'll just show you. Varies that much around the car, but you can tell that the bonnet's been painted by the amounts of depth on it. That doesn't really tell us how much lacquer's on it, because obviously it's been painted over, so it's measuring both layers of paint and lacquer. So we'll still be treading carefully. Right, I'll get on with it. got a deep scratch running along here, and although I've polished over it, it's not getting it out. So got my little flatted block with some really fine grit, and I'm just going to try and ease some of the scratch out. I might not be able to get it all out, but I'm sure we can get most of it. So I'm just going to give it a little rub. And I'm going to cover a bigger area than just the scratch, because I don't want to have a dip in the paint. So just going to take a little bit off and see how much of it we can actually get out, because it's an annoying funny shaped scratch. And it's deeper one end than the other, so if I can get most of it out, I'll be happy. Let's just get a cloth to wipe that off. Let's just wipe it down, let it dry a little bit, because while it's wet you can't tell whether you've got the scratch out. I think that should be enough. I'll give it a polish and see how much of it we've actually managed to get out. Let me just remove the... Oh, I can leave it in there. You can see the area now that I've now flatted. I'll give it a bit of a polish and we'll have a look. I'll see you in a bit. Here's a better view of the area I've flatted. All we've got to do now is polish the flatting marks out. See how we get on. Well, after 2 stages and about 6 or 7 sets of polishing, the scratch was about 7 or 8 inches long that went, I've got to look for it now. It went from there, across there, all the way to there. So it's quite a long scratch. Now, we've got 95% of it out, and you've really got to look to see what's left. But next, I'm going to be looking at this touching. Somebody's touched this in, and they're not very well. So I'm going to flat that down and have a look. I might touch it in some more, but it's a lump. So if I can get it sort of down flat and polish it, it might disguise it more. So I'm going to do that next. And then we're more or less done half the bonnet. Now, I don't know whether, you know, it shows it up very well, but this side is a lot better. Well, I'm going to do that because that does spoil it. I'll see you in a bit. I've knocked it down as far as I dare go. Although there's still a chip there, it doesn't look as bad as it did. I mean, that's magnified, so you know, it's still got a chip, but there are other stone chips on the bonnet. You can't get rid of all of them, but it looks better than a mound of paint sticking up. And I've found there's a deep scratch just down here. See if I can get the light on it. Not showing it up very good. Should have got a torch really. You can just about see it at the side of the light there. So looks like I might have to flat that out as well. But this side of the bonnet started to look nice anyway. More reflection compared to this side. Quite pleased with the progress. Slow going with the flatting and then getting the flatting marks out. You know, it's the flatting marks are hard work to get out sometimes. So a little bit at a time. It's not a race. Right, see you in a bit.